Hi, this is Joni Stahl from A Minute to Midnight. I just wanted to share some things with you from a trip I took to Northern California a few days ago. Before I go on, though, I do want to make a disclaimer that as I will be discussing the things that I saw, I will be talking about different races of people that I saw and things, but it'll all add up at the end. So we just want to let you know this is not being racially biased. We love everybody. We love all people, nations, languages, and tongues. And as we go on, I think that we'll go ahead and show you some pictures of some things that I saw while I was up there. So what you're about to see is a YouTube video that I found about some tent cities. And go ahead and take a look, see just how really bad things have gotten in California.
This is a scene from Anaheim, California that looks like it's a scene from a third world country. Now, this video is shot on a bike path or just a walking path in Anaheim, California, right by where the Anaheim Angels play and where the Anaheim Muddy Ducks play. And it's pretty horrific to look at. We have over 1/4 of the nation's total homeless population, which is roughly at 114,000. Now, this is just messed up, man.
As long as I lived here in California for well over 55 years, I have never seen homelessness this rampant. It was the most devastating thing I'd ever seen. All the people were displaced. There was people, families, men, women, and children. They were like zombies, lost and displaced. It was so sad. The poverty was rampant. And even though this wasn't my video, this is exactly what we saw. We saw it for miles and miles, and it was widespread. It wasn't just in one area. It was everywhere we went. And I noticed that the mass majority of all the people that were homeless were Caucasian. And, surprisingly, we have seen that the demographics have been the Hispanics, but no, it is now an explosion of the Caucasian race that I saw in families and in all ages. Everybody that was, from what I saw, were predominantly Caucasian.
That's how you know you got a cartel grow.
And not only those houses that he is showing you. In fact, we took a drive around the entire Lake County, and I couldn't believe my eyes. The entire place, every neighborhood, we drove through every town around that lake, and every house was rotten. There was trash everywhere. It was devastating. The houses looked like they were rotting into the ground. It was obviously a very high crime area.
So this affects that house. It affects that house. It affects this house. It affects this whole community.
I really looked for a place. Could there possibly actually be any place that's safe, or is this it? So yeah, it was pretty bad everywhere. In fact, the whole place is so bad. From what I understand, the cartel completely has taken over the entire county, and also research has shown that even the police department has become corrupted. So it's a very dangerous place to be. Now we're going to see the complete opposite. It went from grinding poverty, crime, meth world to complete and total wealthy opulence.
Buying homes with cash, it's really unbelievable. Many of these are investors from China. We're going to have a live interview in studio with Mark McLaughlin. He's CEO of Pacific Union International. He's going to break this all down for us.
What have we got going on here with these cash sales? They're phenomenal, often in excess of $1 million, $2 million.
But also at Pacific Union, we're seeing a large influx of foreign capital, particularly coming from China.
What is driving the capital here? What are having people from China invest this kind of money in housing in San Francisco?
Yeah, I think we're seeing three different phenomena. phenomena, Phil. One is asset diversification, people trying to move money out of China. Two would be education for their families. And three would be lifestyle. This is a beautiful place to live.
Are they actually living here, or are they just buying houses here, much the way you're putting money in a safety deposit box? It would be safe here, it's free from any government moves in China, and the value would be appreciating.
Well, it's difficult to generalize on that. I'd say that probably 50% of them are living here, whether they're living here to get their education or whether they're living here for a change in lifestyle. The marketplace in the San Francisco Bay Area is limited in its supply, and the demand is ferocious. We've got a fantastic job market. So it's not specifically driven by foreign capital. It's driven by this is a very, very desirable place to live.
What is it they're looking for in housing in San Francisco? Is it condos, apartments, houses, or everything?
If you're coming from offshore, if you're coming as a foreign investor, what Pacific Union is seeing is the condo is very attractive because it's very low maintenance. There's no yard to clean, things like that. Down in the Menlo Park, Palo Alto area, you're seeing single-family homes where, that's the predominant housing stock.
Are these families moving here, or are they sending their kids here? Who's actually moving into the house?
Some of them are already here. Some of them are here and educating children. Some of them are here and changing lifestyles, starting businesses. So again, it's hard to generalize that way, but it's the predominance of the capital coming from China that we're noticing.
So is this going to lead to more people just getting priced out of this area?
There's an awful lot of demand for the pricing in the area. So, if you want to diversify and move up to some of our northern counties or some of our eastern counties.
I think your answer to that is a short yes. You might be commuting in from Redding in the next couple of years, huh?
It is definitely more competitive to be living in the core of the San Francisco area.
这里就是南湾著名的豪宅聚集地 Arthur， 而我所在的位置呢，就是在。
When we pulled into San Francisco, we noticed right away explosion of Chinese population. The demographics are completely different than when I had been there as a young girl. From what I believe, I think they make up 50% of the population now. Every wealthy car, they were opulent now, not like the Chinese Chinatown. So like every car we saw were expensive, opulent vehicles. And when we even pulled up at some point to the University of San Francisco, we were at the stoplight, and about 30 students crossed right in front of us, and every single one of them were Chinese students. There were no Caucasian people anywhere.
These are some of the most exotic cars I've ever seen, and the people who own these cars are probably younger than me.
I have a 3 Ferrari. This is my newest one.
And the few Caucasian people we saw were so scattered out through the town, but you could tell that they were wealthy, liberal Caucasian people. So basically, from what I saw everywhere we went, because we went through the entire San Francisco, bus stops, pedestrians, shopping, the restaurant, all Chinese. It was amazing.
Savvy couple have snapped up the best property deal in San Francisco, buying a gated street with 38 mansions on it for a mere $90,000.
I think the thing I really want to do is overemphasize the fact that this is not a racial slur or bias. This is just what I'm saying as a Californian, that I've seen such a massive shift in demography and an explosion of different cultures that have outnumbered now the Caucasian population. And so it's a completely different California that we know, and the entire Northern California definitely is, I have to say, under some pretty powerful satanic strongholds. And really what you can do is read about that further in the article, because what I did is I went ahead and I wrote about it. So I just wanted to give you a little brief on what this article was about, what you're going to read. So check out the article. And the name of the article is How Did Northern California Become Like This? And to find the article, you're going to have to go ahead and check out our website. That's www.aminutetomidnite, that's NITE.com. So this is Joni Stahl signing out from A Minute to Midnight. Thanks for tuning in.